Good morning everybody, and welcome to the BBRO weed control site here at Brettenham, which is on a Breckland soil, so very light and sandy, and we have had quite a few problems getting this trial established. We've had wind blow, we've had bird damage, and we've had drought, so it has been quite a challenge. And also with the treatments that we use, they are set well in advance, and it can be a little bit difficult with timings because some will be harder on the crop than others. So we have had to make some compromises. But even so, we're seeing a lot of really interesting differences showing up in this trial. It is fully replicated. We've got 4 reps, and Jill Champion has already done the weed assessments, so they will be available later in the year. And we've got 16 treatments in here. We're not going to go through all of those this morning. We will be publishing some information on the results from the trial later in the year. So field diary wise, this has been drilled with KWS Nelda, which has got BCN tolerance, and that can be an issue on this farm. And it's also a smart variety, which has allowed us to use conventional and ALS chemistry, e.g. Conviso 1. We'll go now and have a look at some of the plots and see what the results are like this year.
Pam, we're ready for you.
Hello Ches, here I am. Look at this, this is the untreated plots here at Brettenham with all this fat hen in it. I think you'd struggle to actually find the sugar beet, so you can just see how important weed control is on this soil type and this farm. This plot here has had 3 applications of ethofumazate, and you can just about see, I think, how it's actually reduced the height of the fat hen. It is slightly thinned it out, but obviously nowhere near commercially acceptable. But it just shows you that the active does have some activity on this weed. We'll now have a look at it in combination with Fen-Medifam. We're now standing in front of the plot that has received Fen-Medifam and ethofumazate together, and you can see a reduction in the height compared to the untreated, but also if you look closely you can see there's other weeds now present where previously the fat hen has suppressed those. We're now seeing things like small nettle coming through, which is quite common on this soil type. So this plot, obviously not commercially acceptable, but it does show how mixing Fen-Medifam and ethofumazate together has a better impact on controlling fat hen. Metametron is considered to be a real key active for fat hen control, but as you can see here, we've still got quite a lot of fat hen present. It is really important to build that residual level up earlier on. It needs to be used in combination with the Fen-Medifam and ethofumazate as well. So now we can actually see the sugar beet here, and this is a combination of Fen-Medifam, ethofumazate and Metametron, as I always go on about the 3 building block actives. We still have fat hen, I would say not an acceptable level for a commercial crop, and we're also seeing some black bindweed, some small nettle and some knotgrass coming through since the fat hen competition has been reduced. So still not perfect. In a commercial situation, we'd have gone back with another repeat, Fen, Etho, Metametron, probably another 2 times, and I think we'd have been reasonably pleased then with the results.
Yeah, that's okay.
So this is one of the best treatments on this site, and actually it was also one of the best treatments at Navenby as well when we was looking at black bindweed control. So here we've used Fen-Medifam, ethofumazate and Metametron 3 times. But at the 2nd and 3rd application, we put some Lenasil in. Now, I know there's been a lot of comments about Lenasil, and so we will be producing some more information and guidance on how to get the best out of that active. It is useful, and I think we will have to learn how to reintroduce it into some of our programs going forward as well. So looking at these plots, this plot here, we can see that we've got quite a lot of small fat hen just coming through. So as I mentioned before, if we'd have carried on and put a 4th spray on, I think they would have been removed. So I'm really pleased with this plot. It's pretty cost effective, and it's given, I would say, actually commercially acceptable weed control in here. So yeah, it's a useful program, but we need to be careful in how we use Lenasil and take into account conditions, weather, soil, crop health, etc. as well. This plot has been treated with an active that's in the pipeline from Corteva, and yes, we can see a lot of fat hen in here, but think back to when we looked at the plots treated with just Fenmedifam or Drestate ethofumazate or Metametron, and you can see it compares very favourably. It's done a really good job on the fat hen, considering there's nothing else in the mix at all. And that is one of the strengths of this actives, and I think it will be a very useful tank mix partner going forward. This is the last plot I'm going to show you. This is a Conviso 1 at 1 litre per hectare applied, and it's done a pretty good job, but as you can see there is still some fat hen left. So as in a number of commercial situations, it would have benefited from a pre-em or an early post-em. On its own at 1 litre per hectare, the Conviso 1 is not what I would consider commercially acceptable. We have had a treatment in the trial where we put a pre-em on followed by Conviso 1, but in the conditions this year, which have been very hot and dry, I don't think we got that much benefit from the pre-em. It would have been better if we'd have done a combination with a post-em conventional spray and the Conviso 1. So that's it from the trial that I'm going to show you today. As I mentioned before, we will be doing a publication given the results of all the treatments. Just a few things to mention, that it was drilled on the 28th of the 3rd, 25. Pre-ems went on the 31st of the 3rd. T1 applications, 25th of the 4th. Then T2s went on the 9th of the 5th. So a 14-day interval. A bit longer than I would normally want between the first two sprays. But as I mentioned right at the beginning, it was a very difficult trial to manage with the conditions this year. And then the final T3s went on the 21st of the 5th. All applications, including the Conviso 1, had half a litre of a vegetable oil applied. So a big thank you to our host farmer Peter Wright for allowing us to have this trial. It's a big undertaking, as you can see with the weed burden that we've got here. Also thank you to the BBRO team and also to Dr. Jill Champion for doing the weed assessments. And don't forget that we've also done a video of our BBRO trial up at Navenby in Lincolnshire, where the key weed was black bindweed. Thank you very much for listening.